Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has spared our lives to this moment. We pray He accept our ibadat. Ameen. I will welcome us back to another edition of the free Nahw and Sarfu class. And in tonight's class, we are going to be looking at التمييز وأنواعه. Tamyeez and its type. Generally, Tamyeez is a word that helps us to clear ambiguity in a sentence. That is a word we introduce to a sentence to clear its ambiguity. So we are going to be looking at its definition in steps. التمييز يكون اسما جامدا. Tamyeez is usually or is isman a noun. We know that isman means a noun. Jamidan, a static noun. That is a noun that cannot be an adjective. A noun that cannot be used as an adjective. So a tamyiz is a what? Is a noun that cannot be used as an adjective. Let's take a look at examples we have here. Sharibtu kuban ma'an. So if you look at this labeling, you can see that under the ma we wrote tamyiz. So ma'un, water, is a noun, but we cannot use water as an adjective. So all those nouns like that, like ball, cane, cow, cat, human names, and sort of examples like that, that cannot be used what as an adjective. So let's look at an illustration. Sharibtu kuban ma'an. You know, like I said earlier, ma'an, the water cannot be used as an adjective, so it fits what we need as tamyiz. So the meaning will be, I drank a cup of water. But if we replace this with an adjective, let's say kabir, and we say sharibtu kuban kabiron, this will change the meaning, change the intention of tamyiz. So it will become, I drank a big cup. So big is an adjective already, and that is what? Not. So it is not the topic we are treating. So tamyiz cannot be what? An adjective. So it is what? Isman jamidan. Yakunu isman jamidan. So it is a static noun, a noun that cannot serve as an adjective. Then it is also fadlatan. It is an extra word. It is an extra word in the sense that the sentence it is coming to explain is a complete sentence grammatically. That is, if we check all the criteria of Nahwu for that sentence, grammatically the sentence is what? Complete, is correct. But what does Tamyeez come to do? It comes to explain its meaning for us. So, still this example, let's cover this more. We have Sharibtu kuban, we have fi'l madi, we have the fa'il there, and we have maf'ul bihi. Grammatically, this statement is complete and correct. So it's telling us that ma'an that enters here is an extra word. That is, without it, the sentence is still complete grammatically. Then also nakiratan, it is nakra, not marifa. You will not see signs of marifa with them. So if you check all of them, they are what? Tenwin. So the next one, mufassiron limubhamin qablahu. So tamyiz is now what? Now comes to explain an ambiguity that comes before it. Mubham, ambiguity. So it comes to explain what? An ambiguity that comes before it. Let's look at the example again. So if you say sharibtu kuban, I drank a cup. A cup. Saying I drank a cup, that cup is an ambiguity. Cup of what? It could be anything. Cup of water, cup of milk, cup of tea, cup of honey, cup of anything. So it is the tamyiz that comes that will now tell us what the sentence is really intending. So in this case, cup of water. So it is now a sentence that makes complete sense. We know what it is intending with the addition of what? The tamyiz. So the tamyiz comes to explain the ambiguity that comes before it. Now, as you can see from the example, al-aslu and ya'tiya mansuban, the natural state or the general state is that Tamyeez takes nasbu, that is, takes fatha. If you look at the example, kuban ma'an, min anasin qira'atan, ni'ma zaidun khuluqan. So that is generally, it takes what? Nasbu. But it is also permissible for it to take what? To take jarru. Jarru from what? From min. That is, you add min before the tamyiz, so that it takes jarru that way. Or from what? From idofa. So the example again. So it can be sharibtu kuban min ma'in. So the min has made it jarru. So this ma is still our tamyiz, though it is taking jarru. It is still our tamyiz because it is permissible for it to take jarru with what? With min. Then sharibtu kuba ma'in idofa. So those two cases. It can be what? Mansub, and it can be what? Majrur. And majrur in two cases, majrur bil mim and majrur bil idofa. So that is generally the definition of tamyiz. Now, what are the types of tamyiz? So we have two types of tamyiz. At tamyiz, the first type, tamyiz that. Tamyiz of something that has essence, that is something that has matter, something we can feel and touch. That's the first type. And the second type, tamyiz nisba, tamyiz of ascription, tamyiz that we are ascribed to something. So now, tamyiz of those things that have essence, that is, the tamyiz in the sentence will be something you can hold, something you can touch, something you can feel, something you can see. So those things that have matter, that is the one for what? Tamyiz of that. But tamyiz and nisbah, the tamyiz that will come there will not be something you can what? You can feel or touch. It will not be a state of matter for tamyiz nisbah. So example of tamyiz is that this sharib to quban ma'an. More, the water is something we can see, is matter, it's something we can touch. Then if you check malhuz, zaidun afdalu min anasin qira'atan, is something that is what? Something we can perceive. It is not something we can hold. It is not a matter. Qira'a is not something we can hold. It is not a matter. We know it is sort of let's say a sensation. So it is not something we can hold. That is the second one. Tamyiz nisbah. So that is first type. But in some books, you are going to see another type of classification according to the mumayyaz. So what is mumayyaz? Mumayyaz is now the word that comes before tamyiz that creates the ambiguity in the sentence. Here, our mumayyaz is kub. This kuban. So sharibtu kuban. When I say I drank a cup, the cup has caused what? Confusion. Cup of what? We don't know. So this is the mumayyaz. That is the word that causes the ambiguity that the tamyiz is looking to clear. So some textbook gives tamyiz its division with respect to the mumayyaz, to that word. So the first one, malfuzul mumayyaz, that is the one that the mumayyaz is mentioned in the sentence, that we can see and point at, okay, this is our mumayyaz. Like this example, we can see that kuban here is the mumayyaz of the sentence. That is the one creating the ambiguity. We know, we can see it. We can point to a specific word, a particular word. That is malfuzul mumayyaz. Then the second one, malhuzul mumayyaz. The mumayyaz is not a word we can point at in the sentence. We can just feel the ambiguity in the sentence. We cannot say this is a particular word causing it. So looking at an example, Nema Zaidun khuluqan. Zaid, how excellent is Zaid? Khuluqan in behavior. That is, how excellent is Zaid's behavior. So if you just say how excellent is Zaid, that totally the sentence is ambiguous. But we don't know the word causing the ambiguity. You just know that the sentence is what is ambiguous. So in what aspect is Zaid excellent? It's Tamyeez that will now explain it. But the ambiguity here cannot be touched. We cannot see that word. Unlike the one we have in Malfuz, we know that it is the cup that is causing the ambiguity. So those are the two types of Tamyeez. Now, Tamyeez is that now has different types again, because it's the one we can what? We can see in the sentence. So we can see different types of Tamyeez is that. So Anwa'u Tamyeez is that, types of Tamyeez is that. The first one, Al-Waznu. Al-Waznu is what? Weight. W-E-I-G-H-T, weight. Something we can weigh. So all those words of weight or weighing are the ones for Waznu. Then Kail. Kail is something we can call a words of capacity. That is, things we use for measuring. Then Misaha is length and Adad is number. So Waznu is weight. Let's say kilogram. You know, kilogram is a unit for measuring weight. So that is Waznu. But Kail is also something we use for measuring, but not weight. So for example, if you use this cap to measure something, let's say you use it to measure let's say Gari, you take you fill this cap with Gari price. So we say we have 3 cups of Gari. So that is capacity. The capacity, not weight. So after measuring 3 cups of Gari, if you say you want to take the weight in a scale on a scale now, so you can get the weight. So the weight you get is the Waznu. But what you use the cap to measure, the measurement of the cap is Kail. So that's the two differences. But Misaha is length. That one is clear, length. Like a ruler, when you use ruler to measure something, length of something. Meters, kilometers, miles. That is Misaha. Then Adad is numbering. So the examples we have for Tamyeez, Tamyeezul Malfuz, Malfuzul Mayaz. Masalan, Sharibtu Kuban Ma'an. We have explained this extensively already. I drank a cup of water. So the Mumayaz, if I just say I drank a cup, that is confusing. Cup of what? So it is the cup that is the Mumayaz, causing the ambiguity. Then the water, when I now say I drank a cup of water, so the statement is now clear. So what made the statements become clear is what? Is the water. So Ma is now the Tamyeez. Then now, you know, here we said Jaza, Jarruhu, be mean, like we explained earlier. That is what brought these other 2 examples. So it's still the same thing. Sheritu Kuban min ma'in. I drank a cup min ma'in of water. So this is what Jarru, because of the second coin that we have here. Then Sheritu Kuba ma'in, also in Idofa, Majrur, all in the same meaning. It's just the second coin there. Now, so this is for Malfuz. Then for Malfuz, the one that the second type, Tamyeez Nisba, the ones that the Mumayyaz is not seen in the sentence but just perceived. So Zaidun afdalu min Anasin qira'atan. Zaid is better than Anas in reading. So qira'atan is the one clearing up the sentence, because we can say Zaid is better than Anas in riding bicycle, in running, in talking, in sleeping, in anything. But if the qira'ah does not come, we can say the statement is what? Ambiguous. It's the qira'ah that cleared it up for us. That, okay, in what way is Zaid better than Anas? Okay, in reading. So, but where is the ambiguity? We cannot point it out in the sentence. We cannot say it's the Abdul or it's the Anas, or no. We just perceive it in the sentence as a whole. So it is something we take note of in the sentence, not mentioned like Malfuz, the cup. Then another example, Ni'ma Zaidun khulqan. Zaid, how excellent is Zaid in what? In character. So khulqan is showing in what way Zaid is excellent. It can be several other things also. So in the next class, we are going to look further at أنواع التمييز to explain them better. So if you note also now, if you note in these examples, they are just mansub. They are not. We cannot see majrur that we see here. Why is that? Because the majrur i'rab is meant for malfuz, is meant for tamyiz zat alone. We cannot say Zaidun afdalu min anasin min qira'atin. Does not make sense. We cannot say Zaidun afdalu min anasi qira'atin. No. So the option for majrur only comes with what? With tamyiz zat. That is the one that the mumayaz is what? Malfuz. It does not, the mansub malhuz comes only for what? With in mansub state. It does not come in majrur, unlike malfuz, that is tamyiz zat. So like I said, in next class we are going to further explain what tamyiz zat is. And so assalamu alaikum.